hear you breathe, but I can't see if you're right here next to me. Something's wrong.
Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so excited for today's video. I'm gonna be starting a new series where I take one ingredient and I'm going to cook it 5 different ways. Now today's ingredient is tofu. Tofu is a really good one to start with because as a vegan, obviously I've learned to cook with it. At first, I really did not know how to use it. And when I speak to a lot of my friends or people who are not vegan, they always go to tofu and say how disgusting it is, bland it is, and that they just don't want to try it. It's probably because you're not cooking it right or using it properly, just like any other ingredient. Alright, so the first recipe I'm going to show you is going to be a dinner, or you can also make it for lunch. It's going to be a lasagna. I forgot to unthaw my tofu last night. That's why it's still frozen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it in the microwave, and then I'm going to use it to make 2 things. The first thing is ricotta, and the second is going to be a cheesy sauce. So the first thing I usually do for lasagna is I cook the noodle first, just because then when you put it in the oven to bake, it cooks faster. I have these fun extra vegetables from neighbors' gardens that they gave me, so I will be adding them to my tomato sauce. Alright, I got all my veggie prep to add to the spaghetti sauce, so let's get started on making it. First thing first is I add some water. So I'm going to start by cooking your onions, and then just let them sit a bit. I kind of just throw everything in the pan and then let it cook. So I'm going to do my onions, zucchinis, carrots, tomato sauce. I'm gonna add some water in the can. I'm gonna add some lentils. I washed them first. This is about half a cup. I'll see as I go if I need some more. I'm also going to add some spices. So some garlic powder, some oregano, and some Italian seasoning. Since I didn't have enough of that pasta sauce, I'm gonna add some of this crushed tomatoes. I don't usually add this, but I don't have enough like sauce, so I'm gonna add some of this. Probably just half the can. There you go. Now I'm going to cover it and let it simmer and get started on the tofu ricotta. You're gonna need a block of firm tofu. I just microwaved it because it just came out of the freezer. And I'm just gonna take half of it and then save the other half for making the vegan cheese. Make sure to squeeze out the leftover water from it, as obviously it's in the microwave, so all the water is gonna come out. But the fact that we freeze it, you can see how the consistency is a little bit different as if you wouldn't have frozen it. I'm gonna put half a block of tofu in this, a half a tablespoon of olive oil, some Italian seasoning, garlic powder, some lemon, and then a little bit of oat milk. About like half a tablespoon. And then we blend it. It's honestly probably easier if you have a food processor, so let's see how it looks like aha, this is what you want. It's kind of like thick. It's perfect. Let's check on our spaghetti sauce. Ooh. It smells and looks so good. Time to assemble the lasagna. Now she is all ready to bake. I put half of it with cheese because it's actually for a family dinner tonight, and not all of my family is vegan. Okay, so you want to bake it at around 325 or 350, depends on your oven. Put it in the oven for about 25 minutes. Oh, this looks good. All right. The next recipe I'm going to be showing you guys to make with tofu is going to be a tofu inspired Asian bowl. You can make this for lunch or dinner. I already unthawed my tofu, cut it and baked it. I just baked it with some soy sauce just to make it a little more crispy, so then I can throw it in the sauce I will be making. For the sauce, remember I'm making this sauce for half a tofu block, so if you're making it for a whole tofu block, I suggest you double this sauce up. So you're gonna need a 1/4 cup of water or some veggie broth, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, 3 tablespoons of coconut aminos or soy sauce, tamari, whatever you prefer, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup or agave, some garlic powder, some onion powder, some hot sauce. You can put as much or little, or you can do no hot sauce, whatever you like. And then I'm going to add some orange juice. You can definitely skip this step if you want. I just kind of want to make it a little bit of like an orange taste, like an orange chicken. I'm gonna add about 1 teaspoon of flour, or you can use cornstarch, and then mix it. You're gonna wanna add veggies. I only have carrots right now, but you can add like snappies, you can add mushrooms, you can add broccoli, and you just let it simmer and cook until your tofu is ready to then combine in your sauce. While this cooks, I'm going to make some rice. So the tofu is now ready, so I'm gonna put it in the pan. You can see how like sticky it is. And put some of that sticky tofu. I'm gonna add some green onions and then top it off with some sesame seeds. And there you have it. Okay, let's do a taste test. Gotta grab a little bit of everything. It's so good. The best thing about this is it's really actually pretty quick to make, and you can just throw away all the veggies that you have. Let's say from at the end of the week you need to get rid of your veggies before they get bad. You can just throw them in here and it's really good. The next recipe I'm going to show you is going to be with silken tofu. The good thing about silken tofu is you can make pretty much any like sauce and stuff high in protein by just throwing it in that sauce. I would suggest you obviously blend it first. You don't really taste it. It just makes it creamier and more thick. But today, what I'm going to be showing you is how to make a chocolate tofu mousse. I promise you, you do not taste the tofu. It just what makes it that mousse texture. The first thing you want to do is you want to take it out of the fridge. If it was in the fridge, and maybe let it on your counter for about 10 minutes. I'm also going to show you how to make my homemade cocoa whip. For that, you're going to want to have like a bowl like this, and you want to chill it before anything. So the way I just do it, I put water on it and then put it in the freezer. For this recipe, you're going to need cacao powder, maple syrup, your vegan chocolate chips, and your silken tofu. And add the silken tofu to a blending cup. Half a cup of melted vegan chocolate chips. Two tablespoons of maple syrup. Two tablespoons of cacao powder. And now we blend. Now that it's done blending, you can put it in basically any container you want, but this is the one that I chose, so I'm going to separate it between the three of them. You want to make sure you get every last drop of this. It's so good. You do not want to waste any of it. Now that the desserts are in the fridge, we're gonna get started on the cocoa whip. So the first thing that I did is actually I took my can and I put it in the fridge overnight. There is a reason for this, and the reason is because what's gonna happen is the cream is going to go on the top and the liquid or the coconut water is going to go on the bottom. And we do not want to use the water. We are only going to use the creamy part to make the cocoa whip. It's a very simple recipe. Basically what you need is stevia. I use 2 little packs of stevia, some maple syrup, and that's it in your can. So let me show you exactly how I make it. You're gonna want to use that bowl that you put in the fridge, so we're gonna take it out. So if you see here, it's really hard, and it's why you put it in the fridge, because the cream part is gonna go on the top, and this is what we are going to use to make the vegan cocoa whip. I'm gonna scoop out only the top. There's really 2 important steps in this recipe, and basically the only step is you have to put your bowl first in the fridge, and it has to be a bowl like this, and you need to refrigerate your can in order for it to separate. So you can see it's how the liquid's on the bottom. We're not gonna use this. I'm gonna use this to actually probably make a pasta. Now that we have just the cocoa, like I'd say cream, we're gonna add 2 packs of stevia. A little bit of maple syrup. This part you can add as much sugar or maple syrup as you want. Now we blend it, which is the fun part. Looking so good, and this is exactly the texture you wanted. Now I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator until we are ready to serve it with the dessert. Perfect, it is ready. I took out my ingredients. I'm gonna put some cocoa whip on my chocolate mousse. And let's dig in. This is so good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's also another tofu recipe that I made in my vegan breakfast. I showed you how to make a tofu scramble. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!
Something's wrong, wasn't it fun? Is it now we're done? You get dressed, I look a mess, and you tell me to confess, and you tell me to confess.